Has there been a bell to call people to the Zen note and so on?
A bell?
Yeah.
Hey, you got it.
Yes, thank you.
Are you going to have the text up there or do you want us to?
Oh, right,
No,
yeah.
no, no, no.
Okay. That's very good.
And also all of the beings that are here that are unseen. Everyone is welcome here in whatever state, from whatever place, whatever condition. All are welcome to receive the teachings. We have to all abide by the precepts of doing no harm, practicing good, and actualizing good for others. May it be so. All right, so we are pressing on. And it's very interesting that Tsongkhapa is taking a really kind of very fine-tooth comb towards the relationship between the students and the teachers, and we're going to continue to work on that. And this particular teaching is really important, especially in our time, because we have such kind of mixed relationship with all of our teachers from school and all the other places where we've encountered teachers, right? This is a very unique situation. So studying the Dharma is not like anything else you've ever encountered in school or anything else. And the interesting thing about the Dharma is it doesn't matter like in normal school, grade school, college, whatever, sort of the more type A you are, how many brain cells you have actually matters, and you can really muster all those forces, and you can, be the star pupil. But in the Dharma, it doesn't work like that at all. So there's a lot of mystery, there's a lot of heart connection, and the most important quality for everybody, as Roshi has said so many times, is earnestness. Earnestness gets you really, really far along the path. So I believe that we were ready to talk about the teachers and what their requirements are. The other thing that's lovely about this book is he's so transparent, right? So as a student, you're given the requirements of a teacher. That isn't like held behind a curtain somewhere. So you get to decide, is this teacher living up to these requirements? And isn't that great, right? Okay, so the first point is how to explain it. Oh, wait, do we have to answer questions? Yeah. Teachers address questions from discussion groups.
Are there any that were distilled? Oh, these are they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right at the end, I think you mentioned that more was coming, and you weren't sure if that you meant like in the following class. And you know what?
If it's here, we'll address it.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So I'll just read the questions. Again, the process is that the hope is that if you have questions that arise during the presentation, you jot them down and keep them, bring those to the discussion group. If they don't get resolved there, and many do, but if there are some that don't, then those are distilled and brought forward and we address them briefly. So what I have, bodhicitta, anything further to send to the class on this? Yes, please perfect bodhicitta. Next question. Let's see, not sure if this is a quote at the end, but it was still intended. I would say that actually, in a very real way, bodhicitta is like everything we do. So it's raising the mind of awakening for the sake of all beings. and it's a big deal. There's a shift in one's karmic trajectory that is as permanent as anything can be. Once that thought has arisen, it takes time to develop it and to deepen it and to manifest it, but that has either occurred or it has not occurred, and that in an individual enlightening being's trajectory towards awakening, this is a necessary moment. I'm not sure what we're trying to say. Daitoku, is there trouble? You're probably better off. Yeah, or if there's something some tech person can do. Let's see, the second question, unless there's something more you want to say about that one?
Well, just that this phrase you're just going to hear over and over and over again, right? For the sake of all living beings, I will attain Buddhahood. In order to do this, I must train in its causes, right? For this, I must know those causes. For this, it is evident that I must hear the teachings. Therefore, I will listen to the teachings. So basically, you're applying this Bodhi mind where you vow to awaken for the sake of all beings, to bring all beings to basically all aspects of your practice. Like that is your motivation. Why am I doing this? This is why I'm doing it. And just keep it really kind of clean and clear.
Yeah, no, I would say too that you do not have to corral yourself into some emotional experience every time you raise the thought.
Yes.
Just let it wash through the mind stream, let it run through the Eightfold Mind System, and that's enough, but keep in touch with it, okay? You note that every time we do anything, we always set intentions, right? So how we begin, your intent and your intention is the main driver of karma. The results of what you do matter, but the intent that you bring to them matters more in terms of the karmic consequences thereof, okay? Results matter, but intent matters more. So,
Yeah, and also connect that intention to earnestness, right? That's definitely a thread that gets pulled.
for sure. Okay.
Did I set intentions?
You did.
I did,
You
good.
welcomed all the beings. You scolded them sternly not to misbehave.
Okay, good.
There's other traditional addendum to that. When you welcome the other beings from other realms, they may only arise in a pleasant appearance that causes no distress.
Oh,
That's another, just to say, not only do they need to abide by the ground rules of no harm, practice the Dharma, but if they appear, they need to appear in a pleasing form that causes no distress. Just to say it.
right. We don't want to be half scared out of our
Yeah.
wits.
Thanks, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
I like that, John.
Okay.
Okay, so next one. Make sure everyone knows to jot down their questions and keep them for the discussion groups, as we said, together. Please outline everything we've covered up to now. No, I'm sorry. That we don't have time to do. That's in the email. Yeah, that's not a meeting, that's an email. Yeah.
So, on that note, I do want to say something. So, when you're in your discussion groups, this is like hive mind stuff. You should all compare your notes, right? And if you've got something missing, somebody else has caught it, and the other way around. So really, come together and decide as a group, what is the outline? That's part of what the whole discussion group is for, okay?
I will do one more framing comment briefly. I'd like you to make a note that there's the initiation time, there's an empowerment that occurs, and then there's practitioner. Okay, so initiation, empowerment, practice. So I have no way to respond to that. Okay, I'm hoping
Can
it's
you get it?
recorded. Yeah, I don't know how to do anything about it. This tells me it's working, so
Will that be recorded?
thank you. Does this make any difference at all? Okay, all right.
Yes.
And every time it just chucks what I'm trying to say out of my head. What was I talking about?
Initiation, empowerment.
Oh, thank you,
practice.
thank you. Yes, Mother, yes, Mother. So, initiation, empowerment, practice, practitioner, okay? This is what's been happening over and over. You've received Jakai. There was a Jakai formation, an initiatory period, and then there's the empowerment that occurs, and that's a ritual ceremony. That's liturgical ritual. It involves the community, it involves the lineage. And then what happens is now you're empowered to practice the thing. So the empowerment is not just something you kind of collect and are done with and it goes in a cabinet. You're empowered to now practice the thing and to do the thing. So the precepts, as example, are things that not that you've just received and you're done with, but that you're now empowered to practice them and to work with them, okay? And that's the expectation. If you're a Jakai student, if you're a Jakai practitioner, you receive them and you're practicing them. And as you know, it's an ongoing thing. The Lamrim, you should think exactly the same way. We're now in the initiation phase. It's going to take us a minute, but that's what this is. And there will come this empowerment moment wherein then what you do is not look at the Lamrim in the rearview mirror, but now you practice the points. Okay, so what that means in this position is that as the points are given, as the outline comes down, they're not just intellectual curiosities. I mean, they may be, but that's not what a practitioner does. A practitioner practices these things. So the expectation is that when you've come full circle with this and you have the empowerment that you will now understand the Lamrim well enough to actually be a practitioner of the Lamrim. Does that make sense? So when you think about these points, if you only think about them from like a cognitive framework point of view, that's not sufficient for a practitioner. A practitioner is thinking, how do I practice this? How do I use this? How do I embody this? How do I work with this material in my life? So I should like to add the fact that, we're far enough along into this process that those discussion groups, I would very much love to see that people are in fact discussing how is this for you? How is your practice of this? Can you relate to this in some actual way in your daily life? So this is not the cabinet of Buddhist curiosities to toy through and look at and notice. These are actual things that we practice, and we